Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Also the North Central Chaplain for Broken Chains, JC. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Today is October 6th, 2025. We are looking at Proverbs chapter 6, and I'm going to look at verses 1 through 5. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 1 through 5. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor or entered into an agreement with a stranger, you have been trapped by the words of your lips, ensnared by the words of your mouth. Do this then, my son, and free yourself, for you have put yourself in your neighbor's power. Go humble yourself and plead with your neighbor. Don't give sleep to your eyes or slumber to your eyelids. Escape like a gazelle from a hunter, like a bird from a fowler's trap. So, I've had several conversations in my own head and with others over the last several months about debt. And the fact that we shouldn't go chasing it. And one of the things that has been part of that conversation is I believe that it's time for our congregation to have a more permanent location than someplace we rent, which means we have to have ownership, and to have ownership you have to buy. That's the normal way ownership takes place. Doesn't always happen that way, but that's the normal way it happens. And so the conversations have been had about how do we do that? How do we buy? We don't have the funds to just buy something outright. So it has to be bought on time, which is debt. And so this morning I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about that, and then I'm realizing, many years ago, I got a credit card because I own my own business, and that was the safest and most secure way to order supplies and materials for my business. Order it, put it on the credit card, pay it off that month. And we did that for years while we owned the business. But then I got sick with cancer, and we ended up using the card to cover expenses a few times. And since then, we've been carrying a balance on it. And so in a personal area of life, that card has become a slave. This morning, after I get done with this, I have to go make a deposit into the bank so I can make a credit card payment. I mean, this is the beginning of the month. We make payments every month, right? I got to pay the electric bill, the gas bill, the water bill, their property taxes. I mean, we all got bills, right? My internet bill, so that I can stream to you right here. These are all debts that we owe. Solomon isn't saying you're an evil person if you have a debt. That's not what he's saying. But what he is saying is you should do everything in your power to get yourself out of that bondage. Get away from being tied to something. Now, I'll be honest with you, that credit card is a debt that I can't just work my way out of very quickly. But it is something I can work diligently at. I have tools. I've been through the Financial Peace University. I know what Dave Ramsey says to do, and I've worked that in my life. And when we owned our own business, we lived it. We were debt free. And for the most part in our lives today, we are debt free. We've got some debt, but not like the world would carry. But we're still not okay. I guess what I'm saying to you is, don't read these verses and have it be a condemnation on you that you're evil. That's not what Solomon is saying. He's saying, you made that agreement, honor it, do everything you can to get it taken care of as fast as possible, because it is something that holds you captive. And you know that to be true, because if you didn't have that to pay, how much more free would you be to be able to use that in other ways. A perfect example is this year I really wanted to be able to travel a whole lot more. But I have things that financially bind me and made it impossible for me to travel. I have a lot of things that financially bind me that made it impossible for me to travel this year. Things that I need to get resolved that have been holding on for far too long. One of them is, simply put, I have been storing stuff in a storage unit for 18 years. Because when I put them in the storage unit, the thought was, well, I'm going to need that because we were renting a place and I was going to need all that stuff from when I moved out of a house. When Rhonda and I got a new house, we were going to need all that stuff. Well, we never moved. We ended up owning the house we were in. And the house we're in is furnished. And we don't need that stuff. And I just never got rid of it. That would be an area where I could free myself from that burden. I've been trapped by it for years. I've been ensnared by the words of my mouth, and I have done nothing to get out of it. Solomon's reminding me, don't give up sleep to my eyes. Get out there and get that thing cleaned out so that you can turn it back in and stop paying for it month by month. Which, by the way, the price of that in the 18 years has gone up a lot. From $30 a month when I first rented it to crazy amounts today. Am I under condemnation? No, but I am recognizing that Solomon has given me great wisdom, and you as well. If you've got debt, what can you do to resolve it? I'm going to start working on mine. What about you? I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. God bless.